It's like it has a wing on the back. It's a cool design for a dead person to be driving in it. So today, I didn't, I don't even think I even experienced one gang stalking tactic at my job. I mean, there wasn't that many people there, but like unlike Friday, I think it was every corner, every, because for a couple of days, there wasn't really anybody working there, and I think on Friday, everybody showed up, and it was tactic galore. Or it may have been Thursday. It was stall tactic galore. Because what is it that gang stalking does to people? Like, what's the goal, and what does it do? I mean, the goal for the evil, pure evil side that runs it, because there may be good intentions, because what you're saying is, well, you need to learn how to be patient, so I'm going to teach this person. I'm going to forcefully teach him how to be patient by sending gang stalking tactics to him. Stalling is, it's basically the number one thing I think that they do. The tactic is to slow you up consistently on a daily basis. Oh, look at Spider-Man. For your entire life on this planet. I mean, I don't know. I've listened to a little bit about Enki and Enlil, and what I've learned, Enlil is the main god, right? The main god, like the god of gods from heaven. Enki was the one that loved this creation, but I mean, you can love your creation because you love how they slave for you and not actually love them. You can say, well, God is love, so if you love, you have God in you. So I love to have my creation to stay slaves. I love it. Therefore, you're filled with the love of God. But the tactics themselves, they've been around forever. When I hopped on YouTube, I thought it was like a new thing, but it's not, and it's just fairly new towards the amount of people doing it because of the cell phones that we have now. Because 20 years ago, so I was, 25 years ago. Well, what was I? When I was about 15. Okay, so 30 years ago is when I started to use a cell phone. And he used to have those big block Nextel chirpy things. But now everybody has a device, handheld device, that probably, it's not probably, when I was being zapped by my computer a few days ago, I think the last video I did, or maybe the one before that, I was typing in my phone, and because I was already being electrocuted, as I was typing, I feel a pulsing feeling from the moment I touched the phone to my finger through my arm. It's getting ridiculous, is what it is, and I can't imagine that that's always been going on, and I didn't notice it, and I just assumed it was. I mean, what did I assume it was? I didn't really think about it, I guess. Maybe I just thought I have a problem. It's my body. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with my breathing issue or whatever. But it truly does have an effect. It's so chaotic around here. All these people. So the Anunnaki, you guys are the ones that, you're not really human fully, because from what I was listening to anyway, it was saying that, because when people try to act like they're Noah, well, are you a fully human being? Are you a human being? Because what I learned was Noah was, it wasn't fair for him to die in the flood, because he was a human being living down on earth with his people, and he was warned by God, and then understanding that the gods that created this whole earth, they run it, they own it, they rule it. But there's always this battle between Enki and Enlil. But the father, the Anu's the father, but Enlil is the god of gods, is what I was hearing in my ear. I don't know, the whole thing's confusing. And then Marduk, I heard at one point Marduk takes over, but Marduk is the son of Enki. But is he the actual son, or is he like the birthing of the system, the next person in? I don't know. But gangSTALLking itself is, it's absolutely real, and it happens day in and day out, whether you're aware of it or not. And that's the thing that's kind of it gets you off guard to think about. People have been throwing signals in your direction, whether you're looking or not. For instance, when people wink at you, they're winking at you because, well, maybe they know that when they're standing there talking to you face to face, maybe they know that they're being watched and they can be seen, so they're showing their dedication to Satan, or to their God. Or maybe they know that their God can see them through your eyes. But the main thing is, as I talk to myself in my truck, pushing record, even if I don't push record, well, then I'm just talking to myself, and whoever's listening in. Whether there's two different entities that listen in, left side, right side, good and evil, Satan and God, or Lucifer, God, however people want to interpret it. But ultimately what happens is I'm battling myself. As I speak out loud, when I talk about the corporation, yeah, of course I've been irritated at it. Of course I've been angry over periods of time, because it's a relentless thing that just doesn't stop, and it just seems so pointless. And then the people that do it, they have no idea what they're even doing half the time. But it's like when you get irritated at them, it's that sickening, satanic, demonic spirit that's just running through people. That's what I get irritated at. That you, Satan. But I also understand that you, Satan, are also in my own head, and I battle it myself. And then to think, these people get paid well, apparently, gang stalking, 24, 45 hours an hour. It's like the children that don't have anything to do and they're standing around, and it's like that, you can twist it the other way, where the kingdom of heaven is like a man who hired his gang stalking employees and it paid this guy the same amount as that guy who was working at the beginning, and he got upset because he wasn't getting paid 45 hours an hour like the other gang stalker. And I guess I'm just amazed that, like, how do you even become one? And then to be in your own family, how do you not know? And how do you branch off into being a secretive gang stalker in your own family? Who do you have to know? Well, I guess your other side of the family you would know, and then they lead you in that direction. But I've seen kids, like yesterday, the kid did a little basketball move towards me because his parent told him to get out of the car and do it. There was like a on cue. He stepped out, just stepped in front of me, turned back, and he probably was only like 8 years old. It's just a damn shame to see children being brainwashed into it. And they're doing it for free, because they ain't getting paid. It's just what goes on in the head of the person doing it. When they do their tactics, when they stall, and it's like they're not even stalling me. There's no bother that you're stalling me, that I have to stop, or if you're walking in front of me, or if I walk in the door and you're coming down the stairs at the exact moment, or the split second I open up my door to get on my truck, the person behind me that parked just gets out, and you just have a way of exposing that's what you are. You're a gang stalker. Now, not all tactics are stalling tactics, but the main tactic for your mental destruction is what Satan tries to do to you, is just make you so sick that they're everywhere and they'll never stop. It's a mind warp. Because you may never see the gang stalkers you come across. You may never see them again in your life. So when you get irritated at that person for doing their gang stalking tactic, remember, it's the spirit that works through them. Because is gang stalking, is that a good thing? Is there something that you can say that's good that comes out of it? Yeah, things come out of it that's good, but it's because you're forced into going through it So what you do is you take the evil and you turn it into good. That's all you can do. The best thing that can happen out of gangSTALKing is you become more of a patient man, woman, and you become more sympathetic for human beings because of how easily they are controlled by money. I understand, you know, doesn't everybody want to live a little bit more comfortable? I haven't lived comfortable. I just never lived actually comfortable where I just felt like, well, you know, I don't really have to go to work today or tomorrow or next week, and I can take a vacation whenever. I was always bad with money. Didn't ever save it. Not really bad, just generous. I didn't care. If I had it, I would share. I would buy things for people. My wife, I bought her a brand new Mercedes back in 2011, or before that, 2008, 9. And then we got rid of it because May 21st, 2011 was coming around, the end of the world. So what we did was we sacrificed our cool vehicles. I got rid of my Dodge Ram, traded in for an old Grandpappy Suburban, 4-door grandpa mobile. And then traded in it was like an '08 Mercedes, a white 4-door C3 E350. Beautiful car. Rode really smooth. It came from Hollywood. It came from California. A guy that I know, a friend of mine that sells cars, I bought a bunch of cars off him. He ordered it from there. The navigation system had a couple addresses from Hollywood. So I thought it was pretty cool. And but the point, it was like a $30,000 car, and I paid it off cash over like 2 years, just so my wife can have a nice car to drive and I could drive it too. And I told her at one point not to work because I wanted her to get better with her mental state of mind, considering the boyfriend she had beforehand, 7 years beforehand, tormented her. He was tormented by demons. He had the same spirit as my kid's mom, just pure evil in every which way, and also delusional, as if you're not evil. So that's the thing. People can be so evil, but they're delusional because they don't believe they are. They believe they're doing good because they're tormenting you, because you're not worshiping them. Therefore, you need to get in line. But they're the evil people that are doing it to you, and you know good. If you have God in your heart, you know what good is, and you know what evil is. The problem is people have been taught what good and evil is and have been brainwashed into not knowing. That's what the problem is these days. So that corporation itself, I believe the main thing is, from the beginning, is to just have you commit suicide and because overpopulation, anything to get rid of you. But why did you guys create us anyway, Inky and Lil, Anu, Naki? What's the point? You created us to be your slaves. Okay, I get it. So you can, I don't know what, you guys live longer than us, don't you? Aren't we temporary? And I think Enlil was the one that really didn't care. He was just going to wipe us all out with the flood. But an angel or something came to Enki and told him some things, and he actually cared enough to prevent that, or to help out, or something like that. I just look at it like this: if you create us and you don't take care of us, then you're a deadbeat dad. And how does that feel to be a deadbeat dad? Well, you're only humans and you're our creation and whatever. Just shut up and stay down there and be our slave. Well, that's not cool because we didn't ask to frickin' be here. Don't let me get in charge, because I'll start caring for humans, and I'll start showing what it's like to be a father, to father people, even though they're not even if they don't even know you or like you, even if they gang stalk you and they think you're somebody else other than what you are. It doesn't matter, because you're being ran by a spirit because of money, because of the love of money and the ease of life. Would it be nice to have the economy in your hand? Sure is going to be, but in the meantime, it sucks. Because I don't really feel like working. Who really feels like working a job? I don't mind doing things. And I thought at one point, you know, I think here's what happened to me. The last 6 months, I decided to take those 2 days off of work, to only work 3 days a week. I pay my bills just enough, have a few $100s left over at the end of the month sometimes, and because I wanted to be more dedicated to getting in front of the computer and showing, you know, you guys the stuff. But once I realized I'm getting zapped, and I don't know if it's directly, again, I'm testing things and I'm speaking them out loud, and I know the enemy can use it against me, but at this point, the whole point is the enemy has to use every tactic they imaginably can in order to get defeated where it doesn't work. You're not going to stop me from whatever it is I got to do, regardless of whatever. I'll just deal with it, suffer through it, and that's it. But I don't know if, as you guys are sitting behind your computers, but you have a protection shield or something, or maybe you're just robots and it doesn't even matter. Maybe I'm in a world filled with robots that don't even have blood running through their veins. So you don't get any kind of twitching feelings inside. Your veins aren't, your blood doesn't pump through certain areas because you're being electronically tortured. I just thought that was a fear tactic, direct energy weapon. Well, apparently it's not a fear tactic. But how direct is it? Is it every computer and that's what it does? Every mouse? Or is it just certain people that they turn the G-forces up a little bit, the frequency, to mess with you a little bit more? So that went out the door real quick. I'm not getting in front of the computer and doing that anymore. Like in front of it and sitting there and hours upon hours researching, clicking, using the mouse. I just always felt like, well, I guess because the heater's on, you hear the vibration, you kind of feel it, but you pass it off as it's just a heater. Or the fan. It's just the sound of it. But when it sticks with you, and when you turn it off and it's still buzzing you, it's a problem. Like this direct energy weapon becomes a problem. There's an EMP shield for your body, is it? I don't know. I mean, I guess I'd have to learn. In order to, I can never take a job sitting in front of a computer now because of what I've learned. Unless if there's some kind of glove, shield protection that the CIA can tell me about when you guys, when I meet up with the people that are, ready to talk plain English. I just don't understand why all the secrecy anymore. Everything's getting exposed. You know the timeline. Satan has a little bit of time left. You guys know the time. And I just wish I did. I wish I knew, like, what day is it going to be where I finally don't have to go and do what I've been doing my entire life, the first 6 years of my life. I mean, is it 40? Does it end on the 45th full year? June 28th? You know, I was watching a little bit of Mary, what's that movie? Mary, Rosemary, there you go. Rosemary's Baby was born on June 28th, 1966. 66, yeah. June, which is a 6th month, to 28th, 1966. My birthday is June 28th, ironically enough. World War I began and ended on June 28th, 1914 to 1919. The reason why, because the whoever the guy's name is, Dukish or something, Duke and Sophia, they got assassinated on June 28th, 1914, and that's what started the war. And then the peace arrangement happened on 11/11/2018, and but the official ending of it was June 28th, 1919. 1919. June 28th, 1919, right there at Logan Square, 19th Street. That sign, that 1919, June, just seems like a good time to move on from this bullshit. Yep. But in the meantime, February 18th is coming up. And so that's Stephen James Deshawn's birthday. And then Jonathan Kleck is holding a gathering. This is a stall tactic right here. It's a gangSTALLking tactic. It usually is this lane though, because you got to get over. It's just always something in this lane. It's just always something. Because the next lane up is where I make a right. So Jonathan Kleck is having a gathering, and what you always talk about, whether it's you or your son, and because I just don't think there's just one of yous behind that computer, because I've sensed different attitudes. I've sensed one that hates me and one that loves me. So having a gathering and always talking about, well, I don't know what can happen. I mean, we can all drop dead and our bodies can go and our spirits go to this could be it. We could get raptured. Like, what makes you think that a rapture is going to happen just because you're gathering with people? Well, because you have the inside knowledge of the script and you're playing it out as Jesus. So one of them's playing Jesus, the other one's playing the Almighty God. That's how I see it. And if I'm wrong, I'll apologize when I see it. But in the meantime, speak my mind, throw stuff up against the wall, see if it sticks, what doesn't. If you care enough to try to correct me, you'll try. I'm not supposed to know everything. You're supposed to stumble over me. Because I just get in your way. I mean, you can call me a gang stalker, because I stalk gangs. You may be the gangSTALLking because you stall and you're the king of stalling. But that's okay, because I stalk gangs of stalkers. You've stalked me, gangs of you. Gangs. So many people came my direction. I'm just blown away at the reason and why. And then other times I start to think, well, it's because you voluntarily hopped into the hellhole pit and started speaking your mind, and people were hired to come against you and try to stop you. And in 2018, all of SJD's top employees came in my direction, and mainly Matthew Daly. You had all of your information with Harold Camping. That day, it was Bash Robin mainly, and Derek from Global Truth was coming, setting up stories, and Andrew was having my back, but never publicly came against me. And so yeah, that was all the Steve's people that I named. Jerry from Light of Truth, you told me, SJD, one time, like, you need to watch out for him. He knows a lot about the Bible. How would you know? Well, because he's your guy. And then Derek from Glop Shit. Jerry from Light of Truth. Boldly, you were telling him where to park at and up in the mountains. Justin, he said you made his name up for him or something like that. The Seder twins, the good and evil twin, and Tyler Mullen. I mean, he's right there with you, Steve, and that Vicar of Christ Jesuit, gangstalker. And so it's basically all of your people came in my direction. That's why I named everybody. But you did come in my direction first. And I know I named the beast, the false prophet, and the Antichrist as a single individual, but also understanding it's fulfilled with a multitude, a group of people. I don't know if I ever really looked at you as a false prophet, because, man, a false Jesus, Antichrist. But the truth is, you're a beast that had a wounded head, and you did live. And so you may be like and there's the beast system, someone that has a lot of technological background, but always seems to have technical difficulties when trying to do shows. I always see it like, man, you got all these problems, but you created all this technology. You just can't seem to get it right. But so being a beast and having 10 kings call me a liar and all that stuff, that's just what you're supposed to do. You know damn well, Steve, I'm the only one telling the truth out of the group of people, because I'm from the outside.